everyone, Neonstar here, and I have an older sister, Destiny. We used to all live in New Mexico, however my dad took my younger brother and me to Texas, so I only get to see my sister whenever she visits for Christmas. She also visited last summer. In our first year living in Texas, we got kicked out of my dad's girlfriend's house for Thanksgiving, so when my sister came over for Christmas, she had to stay in our crappy hotel with us. I don't remember too much about this visit, but we went to a record store and an arcade. We spent most of our time on a rhythm game, and there was a Godzilla pinball. We also got canes, since Dee never had it before. For presents, I got some card holders, a Godzilla comic collection, 2 Godzilla plushies, a Miku vinyl, a Vocaloid CD, and a Shin Godzilla keychain. Destiny was only supposed to stay a week, but on what was supposed to be the last day, she was doing her check-in and found out that her flight had been cancelled. The airline was having a massive worker strike, so she had to stay a couple of days until she managed to get a ride on a Greyhound bus. Luckily, we got an apartment over the summer, so for Christmas 2023, Dee got to sleep in a real bed. Also, I got my period the day before she arrived, so I was in agony the whole time she was here. She arrived on Wednesday, and we ate spaghetti while we watched Game Grumps. My dad got me the FNAF movie DVD, and he gave it to me early so we could watch it before Christmas. The next day we had some sandwiches and decorated the tree. My dad was pushing for us to decorate before Dee got here, but I refused until we could do it as a family. We also put this bandana on Casper. He's very handsome. We had burgers for dinner, and later that night we lit a fruity candle and watched the FNAF movie over hot chocolate. The day after that, we got sushi. I only had sushi once before, so my sister got us some Kroger sushi. I don't care if it's not the best option for sushi, it's good. Dee went to a Danny Elfman concert that year, so we found a recording on YouTube and watched it with our dad. We had leftover spaghetti for dinner, and a chocolate pie and mint chocolate chip ice cream for dessert. On Saturday, we went clothes shopping. It'd been years since I got new clothes, and it was hard to get new ones since I have agoraphobia. Going with my sister really helps with my anxiety, though. We went to a used clothes store, and I actually had a good time. It didn't last, though, because we wanted to go to a pet store to pick up something for the cat, and my dad got mad at me because I didn't want to walk there. We drove in awkward silence, and the pet store was about to close, so we went to Walmart instead. And then my dad made shrimp scampi, which I couldn't eat because I don't like shrimp, so I had a PB&J. The day ended with Dee pulling out her Switch and playing Clubhouse 51 with me. So I wrote down what we did every day after Dee left, and the only thing I have written for Christmas Eve was curry. My sister makes really good Japanese curry, and I ask her to make it every time she visits. Unfortunately, we only had enough rice for me, and since it was Christmas Eve, we couldn't go to the store and get more. On Christmas Day, we ate monkey bread and opened our presents. I got a Mothra Tamagotchi, a Webkinz Rabbit, a Vocaloid calendar, a Rodan keychain, a new copy of Godzilla Save the Earth, a Funko Pop of Godzilla Singular Point, these FNAF Biddy Pops, this Miku figure, these Pokemon posters, this Godzilla poster, and a rejected print from my sister. After presents, we ate lasagna and watched the live-action Grinch movie. We were watching Christmas specials throughout the week, by the way. I also uploaded my Christmas video that day. On the last day, Dee and my dad went to Kroger, but I stayed in the car. Then we went to Brahms. I got cookie dough, Dee got white chocolate strawberry tart, my dad got peppermint, and Avery got orange sherbet. After we all had ice cream, Dee and I played Save the Earth, discovered the glory of Mogira, and had tuna mac for dinner. I went with Dad to drop Dee at the airport, and I had to go in with her to use the bathroom. Dee didn't have much time to actually go out and do things, so she decided to visit again in June for 2 weeks this time. The day she showed up, she wanted Little Caesars, but she landed too late and we ordered Pizza Hut instead. The following day, Dee went to the store and got Sonic slushies. On Wednesday, my sister gave us all birthday presents. We all have birthdays between March and May, so Dee doesn't get to celebrate with us anymore. She got me a Sanshi Freddy plush, Super Godzilla for the SNES, a signed Godzilla comic, and a signed Godzilla poster. We had roast beef and mashed potatoes, and we all watched Kong Skull Island, which was the first time Dee saw it. Speaking of first, Dee and I started watching Neon Genesis Evangelion since I'd never seen it before. Dee brought over frontier rolls from New Mexico, which we had for breakfast on Thursday. We took a trip to an A&W that was connected to a KFC, but I stayed in the car. Then we went to a used bookstore, which, while I was extremely anxious, I did have a good time there. There were a couple books I was looking for, but the main one was Journal 3 from Gravity Falls, which I found. I also got Smash Bros. For the 3DS and found a giant Microbes mouse plush, which I had been looking at online for a year. I was so stoked to find it. I was too nervous to really eat my chicken tenders, so I ate it for dinner while Dee got spaghetti. We went to Brahms again the next day. I got caramel cookie dough, Dee got peach frozen yogurt and white chocolate macadamia nut, Dad got chocolate toffee, and Avery got more orange sherbet. We got tuna mac for dinner, and Dee and I watched the Mysterians and Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla, because Mogira. Starting off the weekend, we had ham sandwiches with a side of pickles. My sister was playing through Alpha Sapphire and wanted Dust Noir, but since the 3DS wireless got shut down, she could only trade with me over her visit. I have Pokemon X, and I was looking for a Houndour to send to my sister, since you can't get one in Alpha Sapphire. On my third encounter, I ran into a shiny Snubbull. I did find a Houndour for Dee afterwards. We got a proper KFC bucket for dinner and ate ice cream while we finished Evangelion. The next day we had leftovers and watched Godzilla -1, the end of Eva movie, and the latest episode of Smiling Friends. We had nacho Doritos and queso while watching that last one. On Monday, Dee went to the mall, but I didn't go with her because agoraphobia. I uploaded my glasses video, though I didn't read comments or anything since I was taking a break that whole month. We got McDonald's and started watching the first season of Dungeon Meshi. We were also having a rough summer with flies, and Dee managed to catch a couple of them with her bare hands. On Tuesday, we went to the store, though once again I stayed in the car. We ate dirty rice for dinner and watched Godzilla vs. Kong, which Dee also hadn't seen. The day after, we had sushi and went to a comic book store and a small used bookstore, where I found this Space Godzilla poster. We went out for boba and had curry for dinner. Dee had to do her laundry on Thursday, and the water balloon she'd bought didn't work. It needed a hose attachment, and we don't have a hose. We had burgers and fries and finished up Season 1 of Dungeon Meshi, which had wrapped up that day. Then we watched Akira, which I hadn't seen before. The next day was very rough. We went to the same shopping center that had the arcade, but it was a bad day for my agoraphobia. So I spent 3 hours in the car during Texas summer while my family had fun. Don't blame them, by the way, I was the one who refused to leave. I think that's the lowest I've ever felt with my agoraphobia. I got canes afterwards, though. On Saturday, Dee went to Buc-ee's, which I also couldn't go to, though Destiny told me it was crowded and loud, so I'm not too torn up that I missed out. My dad had gotten Godzilla x Kong on DVD, and we watched it while eating our Buc-ee's snacks. I was actually writing down what happened each day as it happened, and for some reason I wrote down Schmeezel, and I can't remember what that means. On Sunday, we had more Frontier rolls, and Dee had to get a second suitcase because she bought too much stuff, and my dad gave her a bunch of our old DVDs. We had some sandwiches, played more Save the Earth, and had steak and baked potatoes for dinner. Dee showed me how to use the vacuum, and we had tres leches cake, which I'd never had before. And we played some Clubhouse 51, but Dee's Joy-Cons were dead despite the fact they shouldn't have been. On our last day, we had some curry, watched more Smiling Friends, played more Clubhouse, and had steak, eggs, and tater tots for dinner. I didn't go with Dad to drop Dee off this time since I didn't trust my bladder. Dang, I didn't think this would be so long. My sister is my best friend, and I love it every time she visits. Leaving her behind was one of the biggest reasons I hated moving here. Hopefully she'll be able to visit again for Christmas this year. You should follow her on all her social medias. Thanks for watching and stay safe. Bye!